So here's a quick review of a pair of headphones I recently acquired, which are the Beyerdynamic DT990s. I had a chance to take these for a test run a couple months ago, and I was really impressed with the sound quality of these, so I decided to pick them up for myself. And what struck me right off the bat is that these are still made in Germany. And with everything being made in China nowadays, it's kind of refreshing to see that some components are still being made in the West. They are 250 ohms impedance. Now your average headphone is a lot lower. It's probably around anywhere from sort of 16 to 32, which means that you can use an iPhone or a portable music player to power them. But at 250 ohms, you're going to need a headphone DAC or an amplifier to really push the potential of these headphones. Otherwise, the output is going to be far too low. I've actually plugged these into my iPhone, and they just weren't enough. The sound was really low. So you'll need a DAC, which fortunately I do have built into the motherboard of my PC, so I have no problems in that department. Before we get into the headphone, let's look into the interior of the box. And the key features are the build quality, which is absolutely stellar, as you're going to see shortly. Every part of the headphone is replaceable, which is great because I tend to break things from time to time, so it's comforting to know that I can replace the various parts. And here is a little overview of the variations of this particular headphone. There are the DT770s, which are very, very popular, but they're closed back. There's the DT880, which is semi-open, and then these DT990s, which are fully open, which I'll get into in a second. So let's get into the headphones themselves. So what I mean by open back is that you can see these slits here, which means that ambient noise can go in and sound can also kind of leak out. And while that may sound like a bad thing, it's actually what it does. It provides a wider soundstage, and it's actually more effective in sort of producing that wide surround sound effect instead of digitally simulating it. These have been great for listening to classical music, anything that's heavy on mids and trebles, jazz music, vocal music, and so forth. I've tried these on hip hop. It's not too great because the bass response on these are not tuned for such low frequencies. I'd still go to my V-Modas for that. But for classical and jazz music, these have been absolutely wonderful in reproducing that wide soundstage. And I think what I love about Beyerdynamics the most are these velour ear cups. I mean, they just feel absolutely luxurious. They're so soft and silky, and I've really gravitated away from leather ear cups because they're so hot and sweaty. They do a better job of keeping isolating noise and preventing that sound leakage and better bass response like they do on my V-Modas. But for extended listening sessions, these velour ear cups are absolutely superior. So I really love that. There's a metal construction here. You've got this metal ear band, which is covered with this leather headband, which is fixed on with these clasps, so everything can be replaced. One thing that kind of annoyed me was that the cable is not removable, which kind of worries me because if I leave these lying around and my cat chews on it, then I pretty much can kiss the cable goodbye. But the upside is that they do have this coiled cable, which keeps the cable a little shorter than your average headphone cable, but it can stretch out should you require it, which I like. So these headphones, they weren't incredibly expensive. They are about half the price of your average Beats or Bose headphones, which are your mainstream kind of offerings. But in terms of sound quality, they are far superior. These were about 650 UAE dirhams, which is around 160 bucks. When you think that the average Bose or Beat Studios are double that price, and nowhere near the sound quality of these, I think these represent absolutely great value. I actually took the high-end version of these, the DT990 and the Tesla T1 for a run as well, and they are double the price, almost triple the price of these. And honestly, bang for your buck, these had the best sound quality. I was really happy with these. So if you're looking for your kind of first foray into the open back headphone scene, these are definitely a great choice.